a coach, a head coach, and sometimes we can make a mistake, but that is football, and that happened, and we need to keep moving and keep being strong, because I think we have very good group of players for different reasons that we are explained from the beginning of the season. We are not performing in the way that the people expect, and always when the expectation is different to the reality, it's difficult to get what you deserve. That is why it's so impatient. The patience never arrive. After lose, again Liverpool was massive fail. Oh, look Chelsea, how bad it is. And of course, they lose now Liverpool against Arsenal, and I didn't listen nothing about, but there was a similar result when we play against Liverpool. And look.
The audacity of Poch to compare the criticism that Chelsea are receiving for losing to Liverpool to the lack of criticism comparatively when top of the table Liverpool lose away at Arsenal. The difference between the two sets of circumstances shows how tone deaf this man is. In the same press conference, he talks about fans being patient, fans showing support, fans shouldn't be so annoyed. We haven't got what we deserve this season. And that could be fair for a few games. But Chelsea are where they are down to the poor implementation of his tactics. In my opinion, and these stories will come out about Chelsea, poor communication from this individual, poor instructions and know-how. He's got a young squad, rightly or wrongly, as a young squad, and how you manage them would be different to managing a bunch of 28, 29, 30-year-olds. We all know this. But to come out and say this, I think is an insult to every single Chelsea fan on planet Earth. I think it's absolutely insulting to gaslight Chelsea fans into thinking things are okay. We're playing well. It's all going to turn around. The criticism is out of line. Fans booing or fans being upset is ridiculous. That is essentially what he is saying here. Chelsea are in crisis. 11th in the Premier League table after the best part of £1 billion being invested into a Champions League winning squad, ripping out of the hierarchy, Project Youth, 3 managers, well, 4 if you include Lampard, in the space of that 18 months. That is a crisis. By every single measurement, that is a crisis. And what Chelsea fans need right now is, instead of excuses, instead of nonsense narratives, semantics and twisting of words, Chelsea need results. Chelsea need direction. Chelsea fans need answers. I heard Simon Jordan today on the radio defending Chelsea, defending Todd Boehly. And well, he's invested money, he's spending his own money. The criticism is over the top. How dare he? It's not Todd Boehly's money. They may own the club, but they are just stewards. They are stewards of a club that has been supported for over 100 years. That in another 100, 200, 300 years, when nobody cares who Todd Boehly was, nobody cares who Clearlake are, Chelsea fans, the ancestors of this group of Chelsea fans, who are the ancestors of fans from 100 plus years ago, will still love this football club, wherever it is in the pyramid of this game. And it is being systematically ruined. And we've all seen things they've done, and in the individual moment gone, that could be quite good. I'm really worried about this. This is frightening. But we're now seeing the proof of the pudding. That's all predictions. That's all a hypothesis. And we can all get things wrong. But what we should not do is, when we're staring in the face of an absolute travesty, a potential tragic demise of a brilliant club, is just allow this kind of nonsense to go unchallenged. For the mainstream media to defend Todd Boehly. It's an abomination, in my opinion. And this is on the back of stories now emerging that Enzo Fernandez is considering leaving Chelsea just 1 year after joining the club for 107 million. It also states here that Enzo Fernandez is now open to the departure. His agents and his team are beginning talks with various clubs to explore the potential opportunity of getting out the club. We know they are sailing close to the wind when it comes to FFP and the Premier League's profit and sustainability regulations. There's also talk, and again, Simon Jordan played this down, but said the reports are stating that the club are even reluctant to sack Poch because it'd be another £10 million loss. And Simon kind of came in with some quirky defense of that, saying, well, a new manager coming in now could get them up the league, meaning it would net off the £10 million loss of sacking the manager. But it depends who that manager is. You might have to buy them out of their current contract, which could cost another £10 million. As an example, there's no guarantees a new manager is going to massively improve the team if he comes in February, if he comes in March, before the end of the season. And if they're that close to the wind, they can't afford new signings in January, it stands to reason they can't sack him for financial problems. And all of this has been created by Todd Boehly. And to hear Poch speak the way he did, playing down the issues, to see people defending Todd Boehly in Clear Lake, I think it's a disgrace. I genuinely, it's not my club, but I don't like seeing the working man's club treated this way. I think it's an absolute disgrace. I want to get your views. I want to get your opinions on that, Chelsea fans. Let me know in the comment section below.
In the bidding process for Manchester United, Gary Neville listed the stadium as one of his non-negotiables for a new owner or investor to focus their attention. And he reiterated that point on his podcast in December.
If you've got an amazing Old Trafford with fantastic people at the top of the club creating a great culture, you've got a good chance of success coming down the line. And it's really important, that Old Trafford part. Really important that you have pride in where you play and that it's a great stadium. Starting with Manchester United's right back or right winger or left winger, yeah, if there's some easy wins, maybe you can look at that. But I think to start with, you know, that first 6 months, I think it's people and place, and that's management, and it's Old Trafford.
Gary Neville's absolutely right. And this is all off the back of talk of Sir Jim Ratcliffe wanting to turn Old Trafford into the Wembley of the North and create either a new state-of-the-art stadium or spend the best part of £1 billion on improving the current infrastructure. And Gary Neville's right. I've been talking about this now for about 10 years on socials, and it's amazing for me to see it now get the attention it deserves, albeit late, that the infrastructure of a club, the culture of a club, how it is run, is what will manifest the brilliance on the pitch. Now, when Man United, when we were in our pomp, we didn't think about this because it was being run so well most of the time. We just looked at it as the tactics were good, the players were good. Oh my God, what a great club we are. And we've bought a number of top-class players in the last decade. We've hired managers with great CVs, but yet we've never been able to even get close to replicating a single season that we had in the previous 25 years. And that is because we've not been run well. At the same time, the training facilities, the stadium have started to rot and to rust and to become old and decrepit. There's been no pride in that element of the game. And although some football fans may go, well, why does that make a player not work as hard? It's a psychological situation. If you're working for a company and in your office, you're in an office, carpet's old and got holes in it, the coffee machine doesn't work, the toilets, no matter how much they're clean, they smell. If the computers are old and slow, the internet connection bad, and if the ownership don't seem to care about the working environment, that, you know, the meeting rooms are horrible. When clients come, they look at the place like, oh, really? Is this who we want to do business with? That is going to reflect in the hard work and the overarching performance of that workforce, because there's no pride. The owners don't care. Why should I? Now, sometimes that's a conscious decision of, well, they don't care, I don't care. Sometimes it's subconscious, and there's a 5%, a 10%, a 20% reduction in the amount of work you would put in for another company. And I've seen this in my own working life when offices I worked in or branches that I worked in were horrible. Suddenly money was invested, new technology, clean, crisp looking offices, new floors, computers. The place looked slick. Suddenly everybody was more motivated. Suddenly everybody was taking work more seriously. And the same happens in football. And I think to deny this is ridiculous. to just feel that bringing in a new manager and signing 2 or 3 of the correct players is going to fix a club. It's so basic. It is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And I still can't believe there are fans out there that think this, genuinely. It's crazy to me. So seeing the news about the rejuvenation of Old Trafford, let's bring it back to the story. This should make Man United fans as excited as the idea of signing Mbappe. It genuinely should. Not that a new stadium is as good. It is maybe as entertaining as a Kylian Mbappe, but it's the message that it sends. It's the cultural changes that will come in that should actually have ramifications and a ripple effect for multiple years to come, long beyond the time span of a signing a football club. And we saw that with the rejuvenation of Old Trafford in the late 80s and early 90s, and what the 75,000-seater stadium in its heyday did and how it helped. Now, if we can start extending that stadium 85, 90, 95, 100,000, the pride that comes with that, fighting for that, the noise it generates, all of this will massively help the club moving forward. There's no doubt about it. And it also sends a message when it's external investment and the owners direct their own money being spent. It sends a message that these guys are serious. I'm buzzing about it. I'd love to get your views and your opinions. Until next time, my people, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you soon.